And we are live. This is the Fragonationals. I am Jack Clock. And he's Yung Peen. Care to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hey! So today we're definitely going to be going into a real slobber knocker of a match. We got Suco De Laranja against the Zorro's Fighting Legion. So how do you feel about this team that has done so many different competitions that people could say you started?
Well, I have to say that while I'm trying to stay unbiased here, it's very hard considering the legacy that has been built up with Zorro. But I do have a good feeling that Suco De Laranja is going to be able to stand their ground. After all, they've beaten both Team La Buena Onda as well as Osteoporosis, two very strong contenders, with Osteoporosis actually being a pretty good contender for them. Hold on for a second.
Well, I've got to say that as someone who's familiar with both teams, and we've seen how much of a tear that Suco De Laranja has been on in the past few games. How great of a chance do you think Zorro's Fighting Legion will be able to mount the kind of defense and aggression you need to take down some of the top players of Suco De Laranja? Because they're very adaptable. They've gone up against that mares like meta that we've been seeing this whole time, and they've been crushing it.
These guys are really strong. I have faith in Zorro, as I always do, that he will be able to win. But at the same time, he's going to have to put in all of his effort, along with his teammates, to fight these guys. They're a juggernaut of a team. And I think it's going to be a close game, honestly.
All right, I'm heading in. We're going to see these players practicing. Definitely a lot of no real rivalry or heat between these two teams, but they're definitely both top dogs, you can say. We're expecting a real high quality match.
Yeah, definitely. And both of these teams have something to prove. Suco De Laranja is from South America.
I need to join spectator.
Yeah, of course. So Suco De Laranja is a South American team. South American FOF, while it has a host of good players, has typically been neglected in the community a lot. However, Suco De Laranja's been flying in the face of that. They've been they've been basically carrying their whole country on their whole continent on their back. And
well, I wouldn't say the FOF community is like South American teams. We can't have that. I will agree with you that there is a plethora of Russian teams, European teams, a couple American teams, but not so many. Almost like we'd be...
There's not much representation in the South American community. The problem is, it's not that people are against South American teams. A lot of people don't know they exist. Or like a lot of pro-South American players, because oftentimes you don't see them on places like r-fof or on Reddit. I mean, like in Discord or in like the Steam forums and stuff. And you usually see them on their servers, but a lot of people go on there because of ping.
Suco De Laranja has been representing a lot here, but how good would it be to see Zorro's Fighting Legion win a good position going into their first match here? Because if they can take down the top dog, and it's going to be really good for their morale going up against all the teams that Suco De Laranja has already beaten.
Yeah. And not just that, but also Zorro has a lot to fight for. He has a big legacy to live up to, and if he's able to beat a powerful team like these, then he'll have a spot on the pantheon of El Zorro. And if Zorro manages to beat a prestigious team like Suco De Laranja, then they are going to have huge momentum afterwards. I remember when I was Zorro, and I managed to be a team despite the odds. We were like filled with so much like hope that we'll be able to win a higher spot.
And not to say you didn't do anything as Zorro, you won at least 2 bronzes that I remember, and I'm pretty sure you even came in first in one, if I'm not incorrect.
I don't think I did, but I definitely beat a few prestigious teams. But this is, as far as I know, this is the first competition that this particular Zorro has been in. And
now
so
these teams have a lot in common in terms of what they need to prove and how they both have these very malleable, hyper-aggressive play styles.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But what I would like to know is how do you think of the players? Let's start with Zorro's Fighting Legion. Who you say be like the leader and who's really gonna shine the most in this match?
Officially, well, I mean, Zorro's obviously the leader of Zorro's Fighting Legion. But he's obviously never done tournaments before, while his allies actually have. So I'm thinking that they might be
I've seen
codependent on
Risen
each
do
other.
very well in tournaments before.
Yeah, I'm thinking that they're probably going to be codependent on each other. Meanwhile, I believe, it's Pososa Insignificante is also the chosen leader of Suco De Laranja. I think I might be, no, it's Pai de Familia. Sorry, Pai de Familia is the leader of Suco De Laranja. So I think I know who they're gonna be taking strats and stuff for, and so far it's been going really well for them.
As someone who's been out for a little while, I have seen a lot of videos of Pai de Familia, and I have got to say, as a man of brass knuckles myself, I could not pick a better man representing right now. Now, I have seen a lot of great Knuckles players, but he is by far my favorite Knuckles player going into this tournament. And he's really been showing up with not just the Knuckles, but the knives. You've seen the footage over and over of these crazy knife throws that end rounds, that take points.
I know, right? This guy for me, he's up there with B-Dog. If anyone remembers B-Dog from the old days, then this guy's basically the next B-Dog. Oh! Look at him! Look
Do
at
you
him!
see that disarm? Do you see that disarm?
The only reason he lost there is because the guy managed to pick up another pistol.
Now, all I'm gonna say is I would never in my life count out Zorro's Fighting Legion, but you can't deny that the stakes are high, and the team they're going up against is second to none in this bracket.
Yes.
So I think as Zorro's Fighting Legion, even if they don't win, they can still go up against this team, knowing that if they at least show up and put up a good fight, they will undoubtedly have some momentum going into their next round.
Exactly. And even if they do lose, this is not the end of the world. There are other teams that they're going to have to fight, and they can still prove themselves as a powerful team.
Laser Bro, you were talking about the olden days. I remember Laser Bro in some of the tournaments that I've played in.
Yeah, I remember him too. That's why I was saying that, like, some of these
now
folks
we're
are
way
old
past the
timers like
days of Rommel and Chich and Matsik in these tournaments, but we are. You still see a couple of these remnants, and they know the game so well. How do you think that's going to play in? Because having more of this veteran instinct on the team surely gives some inherent advantage.
Yeah, it does. I feel like Lazar Bro is going to be the Rommel of this Zorro's team. Just like how Rommel was basically one of the heavy hitters of the original Zorro's Fighting Legion, this guy is going to be the heavy hitter for this Zorro's Fighting Legion. Also, did you see some of the plays that Risen did?
Oh, I've been watching mainly Pai and Risen right now. So Zorro X is in spectators right now, right?
He is banning maps right now alongside Pai de Familia. Basically, the rule is that the two leaders have to ban maps, and now they've officially come to.
I remember how the map banning works. However, I can't understand why either team would want to ban Impact. Simply because Impact, the high dynamics of short turns in that map are it complements both teams. So I would think they'd be
It
going there instead of the
complements-
Fistful.
It is such
But
a
here we
good
are,
map to be
going to
Zorro
Fistful,
on.
to the bank. We are getting that money, getting that paper, going to the bank on Fistful.
Getting that machete or a dynamite belt, those are two really good weapons in Zorro's arsenal. And Zorro himself, due to me obviously being retired for a while, I have not seen Zorro fight much, but I have a lot of faith in him. He says that he's not like crazy or good or anything, but I don't think that's true. I think he's just saying that to be nice. I
think watching some old Zorro's Fighting Legion stuff, the way that El Zorro X right now, what makes him such a dangerous player is not his individual skill, but his ability to combo with his team. He is so hyper aware of what his team is doing. It's almost insane, and it changes the way the game is played because you can't hide and you can't just ambush. And we've seen Pi de Familia loves a good ambush.
Oh yeah, definitely. But the thing about Zorro is you have to switch your brain and your play style when you're fighting Zorro. You can't just do what you do with gun players, because then Zorro can easily rush you, kill you, and find multiple ways to dismantle your team. You have to think smart, and you have to
exactly.
Yeah, Zorro is like
smart.
Zorro is like your average axe player if he had a 200 IQ brain and a weapon that did slightly less damage but could be thrown more.
If he didn't, it's like what's the perk? Tracker. It's like that, except it's the whole map. He will know where you are.
Yeah.
The big issue that comes with the game and with going against this team is how much will honor play a factor, because we know both teams are not noobs to the Mares Leg.
Definitely.
We have a couple Mares Leg players here. I think we even might have a sawed-off player somewhere on one of these teams who's going to pop up now and then.
Yeah.
But how much are the crates going to impact? Because the crate location on this map is very widespread, as opposed to something like Impact or like Revenge, where the crates are very close in proximity. How much are we going to see that coach gun pulled out? How much is that machete going to come out? How much is someone gonna get a walker or a pumpy or a sharp?
Oh yeah, definitely. Chest weapons are a game changer for certain teams, and I feel like it's gonna be more important with Zorro's Fighting Legion. Sorry,
And
I was just answering the fellow. Yeah.
That's where I think Zorro's Fighting Legion is gonna have more of that veteran advantage, is because they have that that chemistry with the map.
Yeah,
they have known this game and played it on the competitive scale more times.
And the thing about Zorro is that he is that chests are your friend. The machete.
Pessoa, not Pesosa. He wants to tell you, Jack.
Huh?
Pessoa insignificante. You keep calling him Pesosa.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Pessoa, got it. Pessoa. But like, there's the machete, which is basically hugely important to a Zorro play style. There's the dynamite belt, which I discovered recently to be one of the best options for dealing with powerful weapons and players like the coach gun.
The dynamite belt is going to come in handy so many times because we've moved away from the Yellow Boy and Spencer meta into this Mare's Leg and Shotgun meta, where range is important.
Yeah, I mean,
but controlling distance is absolutely critical, and no weapon does that better than the dynamite belt. And that's another thing that gives Zorro's Fighting Legion a small advantage. The biggest problem that I see is as much faith as I have in both teams, I can't deny I am much more impressed with Pessoa and Pai and all of their they play harder, but they don't play smarter, and we're gonna see who is gonna play smarter in this game.
Alright, and now we are live. Alright, let's see the positions of the folks on the map. Alright, it looks like all the Rangers have spawned pretty far away, but the Desperados...
The Rangers full spawned on the same side of the map,
yeah,
where the
but
Despies
they
have been spawned
distance.
very close. We have risen with knives in Yellow Boy. Laser, we see that
already taken
we're gonna see some Remington battles going on here. Oh, and Zorro gets the pick right before it ends.
Oh,
Desperados,
that was an impressive shot on Zorro's part. And it looks like Resident's just doing some target practice. Alright. So it seems like there's a heavy amount of...
we're gonna see a fight up here.
Oh,
it looks like Pai is taking him down.
There. Oh, and he is taken
Laser
out through
goes
the wall. And Risky's taken out too, and now it's all up to Zorro.
Pai is already removed of 2. You see these Colt headshots.
Yeah.
A lot of this game, even though it's close range, you would expect there to be almost a fanning meta, but Pai making so much use of having a little trouble drinking that whiskey there, but he is putting so much use out of right-handed, getting these beautiful kick combos. He sees them. Picks one. The other one is gonna go down.
Oh, and Pai de Familia manages to finish off Zorro, leading to 2-0.
Was that 4 kills in that round? It was. 4 kills in 1 round, 94 notoriety. That is hard to counter, and Zorro's Fighting Legion needs to get some steam here.
Yeah, they do.
You see Risky's pulled out the mare's leg.
However, that's not too bad for Zorro. Now he can play more aggressively, while the others can, be at a bigger distance with their guns and such.
When you go up against a mare's leg, it's like, oh, you're scared of that one tap.
Yeah.
But you know there's ways to counter it. When you go up against such a well-rounded weapon like the Colt Navy, at that point, you just gotta find a way to bring them into a situation they don't like, because every range is their range.
Alright, looks like all of the Zorro's Fighting Legion members are meeting at the bank. Let's see what they can buy.
Oh, but looks like 2 of the Reds have taken the top of the bank.
And it looks like they're now going to the bottom. It looks like Zorro's gonna be chasing him now. And it looks like not
Zorro playing very aggressive, already getting taken down.
And all of the Zorro's Fighting Legion members have been taken down again, leading to 3-0. I was hoping to see what weapon they'd buy.
Now, Zorro's Fighting Legion needs to play very scrap here. They need to have a plan. Right now, they've been trying to feel out their opponents. Pai has terrible spawn by Laser. None of his fault, but just terrible luck.
Pai put right into the enemy. Destroy Risky as well. Now it's all up to Zorro to play more cautiously. Oh! And he manages to take out Pai de Familia. However, he is
but the teammates are coming in.
Yeah, now he has
Pessoa's coming in clutch.
2 of his teammates are managing to...
Ooh, and which one's Zorro?
And...
and Risen finds Zorro and removes him.
And making
10 health left. 1 shot.
He was very close,
given
though.
That round.
That could have been
These are close rounds, but like I've been saying, you gotta find a way to outsmart them, because you're not gonna be able to play harder than them.
For example, Pai de Familia managing to take out...
Pai finds that easy Navy kill. Pai might find a second one.
There's not much that Zorro would be able to do.
Zorro's trying to escape here with his life.
There's not much that could be done there. However...
Could have taken advantage of heavy loads there, but he could not get that box in time.
However, it looks like they are in control of the top of the bank. And Pasosa manages to headshot Risky. Ooh.
And there is the power of the mare's leg, and why we see it every time.
Exactly. And now it is match point for Zorro. They have to think of something. Anything.
Laser missing that. Wild shots on this mare's leg. Ooh, he finds one. Does he find two?
He's gonna have to run, and he manages
Laser
to
finds
kill Rizin,
two.
but trades with Pasosa. Oh, and Risky manages
Zorro
to just take...
not being able to take these knife kills. Zorro needs to play more aggressive than he is because he knows he cannot get all 3 kills stealth and not die as well. He needs to be a little more aggressive and he needs to find something to give him that advantage. He has not taken a hatchet. He has not taken a machete. He's been going with straight knives and he's not gotten any of those throws yet either.
Exactly. What he needs to do is he needs to play hard. And all the that wasn't his fault. He did not know that all of the Suco De Laranja players would be there. However, it looks like Rizin has
Risky and Pi are the last 2 who need to go down.
And Rizin
Risky
manages to
walks
finish
right
the
into
game.
a trap. And that's a 6-0.
And GG to Suco De Laranja. Suco De Laranja, sorry. And it looks like they are going
takes
on
the
to
set.
another win. However, not all is over for Zorro's Fighting Legion yet. They still have more games to play. So
Zorro's Fighting Legion showed a lot of heart and a lot of dedication to get some of those extra picks.
Yeah, definitely.
But Zorro's Fighting Legion could not develop the strategy necessary for taking out the top players. They only found Pai de Familia maybe once or twice. They could not get those consistent kills on the last guy.
Yeah, what Zorro needs to do is either fully dip into aggressive, fucking murder everyone mode, or basically switch up his playstyle with a bow or a dynamite belt or even a machete, especially. And since there's no apologies, since there's no pickpocket or whatever, his money shouldn't be as slow as mine was when I was playing. But anyways, it's definitely not over for any of these two. You'll definitely be seeing more of them as Zorro's Fighting Legion is going to be playing more rounds.
Now, we've talked about how Zorro's Fighting Legion can come back from this. This is them going up against the very best and them showing a lot of heart. They need to get some of their act together, but you know what? They can definitely pull together a couple more. I think they have what it takes to keep going. But how well does this look? Jesus, that was a clean sweep.
It was. But
Suco De Laranja taking all 6.
They have done that a lot. Oh, but Zorro himself is actually really good. What he needs to do is he relies a bit too much on his Derringer. Anyways,
I would say when it comes to Zorro, there is a place in Fistful of Frags for these melee-style builds.
Exactly.
But when your enemy is playing with mare's legs, upgrading and trying to get those red chest weapons, those blue chest weapons, or even if they don't, when you see that you are getting absolutely annihilated by a Colt Navy at a range that you cannot compete as a melee player, you need to get yourself some dynamite, or you need to get yourself a better weapon.
Exactly.
Now, I know Zorro does not get weapons above the Derringer, but he should have at least tried to find a hatchet or a machete once or twice in that game.
Well, I mean, the hatchet is not on the whitelist, but the machete very much is, and the machete actually doesn't cost that much. It's like $55. You could easily but one of the problems is that the mare's leg is it just immediately just keeps shutting him down. He has to find some kind of way to counter it. There's the dynamite belt that will, as soon as it touches the ground near an enemy, it will instantly just brush their weapon away, and allows you more time to just stab him or kick him or whatever, or throw another belt.
Well, let's hope Zorro's Fighting Legion definitely learns from this match, because if they manage to keep if they manage to keep some of their steam, they manage to win a few rounds and get into the actual bracket, they're most certainly going to go up against this team.
Oh,
again.
yeah, definitely.
And they need to refine their strategy more for picks. You see that the Suco De Laranja does not mess around. They stay together as one unit, as a ball of hurt.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And every single one of them is dedicated to a range or more.
And you can't just simply just penetrate them by just playing really cautiously. You have to find ways to dismantle them all at once. And even stuff like a machete could take out or wound several of them before they manage to kill you. And allows your teammates to quickly sweep the rest. Or a dynamite belt, literally allowing you to disarm everyone. Oh yeah, also taking them by surprise like that. That is like a huge way to basically just take someone out like that. When they're wounded, when they're looking for whiskey and stuff like that. And also the you gotta keep them stunned essentially. You gotta prevent them from just.
We were talking a lot about the almost like the veteran instinct of this game, but it seemed like that it didn't come into play at all. Laser Bro had one or two really nice plays where he got a pick. He left one guy at 10 health. They almost took that round off due to him.
Yeah.
But he did not find those picks that he needed, and constantly losing these 1v1s. How, as the other teammates of Zorro's Fighting Legion, constantly losing these 1v1s to Pai de Familia, how do you manage to come together and counter that sort of ball of hurt play style?
Yeah, they whatever way it is, they have to find one. Because these players move in a pack, they move fast, and they hit very, very hard. And Zorro, I noticed he's a big fan of the Zorro combo, which is really good at taking out pub players, but a lot of experienced players in tournaments will actively look for that.
And not just pub players, the reason why people use the Zorro combo like that is very good at taking down and shutting down a lurking player.
Oh,
but you cannot, I can't stress this enough, you cannot use a 1v1 strategy to take down a team of 3 people. It won't work. You don't do enough damage per second. It's just enough to finish one person off of a good kick.
And that's why they usually will damage you while you do this combo. So, like, that's why I always look for whiskey and stuff after doing these Zorro combos. Because while they were effective, they weren't foolproof. And basically, while he's also really good with the Derringer by itself, he basically uses the Zorro combo as just a bit of a crutch. Like, he doesn't seem to fight any other way. Outside of focusing on one person when it's a team of 3 that he's actually supposed to be fighting.
We talked about how good of a leader Pai showed that he was in this game.
Oh, yeah,
but how about Pessoa? Even just watching him in this post-game, truly something to watch.
Yeah,
he is
insane. He
is almost, I would say he is the enforcer of the group.
Oh, yeah,
that is a mare's leg I do not want to go up against.
Yeah, definitely. Even like the Russian players did not play the mare's leg as well as he does. He plays it like an instrument. Like, damn.
We know how much the Russian players love using that mare's leg. And sometimes you don't get the headshot. The reason why it does a one-hit headshot is because it's not that accurate. But Pessoa, not only finding those headshots, but even when he couldn't, dominating these 2-shot body shots, shutting down Laser, who was also using that, it was quite a match.
Anyways,
yeah, go ahead.
Anyways, I think we've I was about to say that I think we've exhausted all of our topics, but what were you going to say?
No, I didn't have anything else.
Oh, yeah, me neither. But if you're a member of Zorro's Fighting Legion or even Zorro himself and you're watching this, please take all of these into account. I'm still proud of you for playing it all. So like, just keep in mind, I'm just throwing out.
And if you're Suco De Laranja right now, I've got to say, I was thoroughly impressed with the performance you guys put on. Let the record show you were not just fighting some no-name team. You were fighting some pretty good players there, and you came out on top with a 6-0. That is not an easy feat.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Congratulations to both teams.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, they weren't fighting like La Buena Onda, where it's like a lot of the players they don't really know what they were doing. But like Zorro's fighting Legion, they very much do know what they're doing. They matched them with a playstyle that they knew how to counter, and they managed to counter it. And that's pretty much all I have to say. And up next will also be Zorro's fighting Legion. We'll be able to see a lot more action from them in the future. Anyways, see you around, guys. This has been Jack Clock, and this is Yung Peen, and we'll hopefully see you again in the Fragonationals.